wherever you come from, whomever you love, we are glad that you're with us today. The theme for the month of, what is it? Oh, April, is joy, right? Is it joy? Yeah. We invite you to contemplate this theme with us today and carry it into your daily life when you leave. Let us welcome the youngest members here today. You're probably about 50 years old, but welcome. But when the young children join us in a little bit, let's recognize their noises and rustlings as our next generation as they participate in worship with us this morning. They'll be joining us for the Easter parade. We commit to be co-stewards of this land, owned by the Wabanaki Confederation, and to work towards a world that is just and thriving for the whole of the web of life. We invite you to take home the order of service, especially the cover piece, for more information about us and also with the announcements, or you can leave them for recycling as you leave the sanctuary. Please silence your cell phones. There will not be a social hour today, but next week there'll be a big social hour with lots of conversation. Also for announcements, we're having the Easter parade just after the announcements, so that's that.
You run back and make sure the kids are ready.
Oh, they're going to go get the kids now for the Easter parade. Next week, we're having a feedback forum, so we can all get together with coffee and hear from the board about things that are going on, and also kind of talk about future programs for next year. So I hope you'll stay and have some coffee and cookies and join us. The other thing is next Saturday is our beloved Janine Wilson's celebration of life. It'll be at 2 o'clock. We have secured parking over at the Oasis Club. I invite you to come a little bit early. There'll be lots of folks, and there'll be probably a shortage of spots. And if you can't find something, go over to the school as well. And, oh, where did Nikki go? Oh, she went to get the kids. So it's been the tradition for years and years that we celebrate the beginning of our Easter service with an Easter parade. Some of you see that we're wearing hats. If you were here early enough, we could have gotten some for you that were made by the kids. They're kind of funny. I mean, they're great. And so Paul has many years of experience, and so we invite you to stand up, parade your hat around, or just parade around. And I guess, well, let's just pause for a moment until, Betsy, are the youth coming? Are they? We'll just wait for them to come. Easter parade.
Good morning from this side of the stage, and happy Easter. Please join us in reading the words of our chalice lighting. This is our sacred promise to gather in, to seek truth in love, to serve human need, so that all shall grow in harmony with the divine. Can't have Easter in my world without brass. Thank you, Thomas. That was wonderful. Come in, all who long to know how to love this world, how to keep eyes open, hands unclenched, arms wide, breathing deeply in and out. This is a time to practice, because there is still so much good and beauty and joy, but it certainly can be hard to keep telling this tale with all the news and the wind and the rain and the trembling earth. Come in, all who teeter on this edge of cynicism, brokenhearted and trying still to remember laughter and kindness and the chance to be alive in these days when so much is at stake. In this place, we remind each other why we persist, giving each other courage to take this path that is not always easy to keep practicing. This love that cannot and will not let us go and still calls us on. Come, let us worship together. Now please stand and join us in singing hymn number 26.
Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Yonder come day, oh my soul. Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Sun is a rising in my soul. Sunrise, sunrise on yonder sunrise. Sun is a rising in my soul. Sunrise, sunrise on yonder sunrise. Sun is a rising in my soul. Sunrise, sunrise on yonder sunrise. Sun is a rising in my soul.
So now is the time in the service where we share what's on our hearts, whether it's deep sorrows or great joys, so that we can lift them up and hold them together. You are invited to come forward and light a candle. If you already have, you're welcome to come forward, share your name and what your joy or sorrow is, or come and light another one and do the very same. They say please hold the mic up like this so that we can hear you and those online can hear you too. And I'm going to start. I know I'm supposed to also end, but I wanted to share the great joy that last night we had a Seder at 4 o'clock, intergenerational Seder. 13 folks showed up. It was just really lovely. The kids really participated and made it special. And so I just want to express a great joy for that.
My name is Randa. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I have 2 candles. One is because it's Easter, and Easter is not the same without Janine helping the Easter Bunny prepare our grounds for the children and their Easter eggs. The other is because Earth Day is coming, and there's so much going on that I forgot and have to remember that Earth Day is every day, and so Earth Day is every day.
Good morning. My name is Sarah. Some of you may have already heard this, but this is quite a weekend. Friday, we had Good Friday. Friday night was 250 years since Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. Yesterday was the 250th anniversary of the shot heard round the world starting the American Revolution. Today is Easter. Tomorrow is Patriots' Day with the marathon, and Tuesday is Earth Day. What a weekend.
Hello, my name is Aiden. I haven't done this before, but I have a great joy. My great-grandmother was diagnosed with cancer about a couple months ago, and she is now not fully better, but getting that way, and she's doing well now, and after this, I'm going over to her house to celebrate Easter.
And I recognize all the bright lights which represent joys and sorrows on people's hearts. And so I will light one last candle to acknowledge that which has not been shared, and invite you all to hold everyone in your hearts for their sorrows and joys.
And please join me in the spirit of prayer. Spirit of life and love, Spirit that lives within us and between us and among us right now, within this beloved community and in our work for collective liberation. May we continue to weave the web of trust and care to keep our bodies safe. But more than that, may our bodies be the site of healing, joy, and freedom. May we refuse to let our spirits be depleted and hardened by the forces of hate. Instead, may we open ourselves to be nourished and transformed by the movement for justice, knowing that our collective story is not what we are fighting against, but what we are fighting for. For ours is the work of creation. Ours is the work of inviting people into an irresistible movement, rooted in our belief that a new world is possible, and the center of our work is love and joy and the spirit of abundance. These are the things we are fighting for, and these are the things we are fighting with. These are the things we are fighting for, and these are the things we are fighting with. May we know deep in our bones that this is the call of our faith. And I will say amen, and blessed be.
So our reading this morning is called The Promise of Easter by Eugene Navies. Who is to say what Easter is and what we should celebrate on this day and sing for joy? Easter is promises remembered and fulfilled of death and life and all that lies therein. It is the promise of the planets in their turn, the infinite fidelity of stars and suns and seasons. Easter is winter promising to spring that earth shall yield its death to life again. It is the growth, the promise of the dormant seed, the barren meadow and the naked bough. It is the birth promise of all creatures which have life and breath and being. Easter is ancient sorrows stilled and hopes to follow. It is the memory of Jesus dying in Jerusalem. It is the promise that the heart shall be reborn as hatred dies and love is given to birth. It is the promise that the mind shall be renewed as ignorance is lost to newfound truth. Easter is the promise to everyone who journeys from the death of prejudice to the life of understanding. Easter is promises to everyone who casts away the errors of darkness to dwell within the light. Lo, Easter is of earthly promises and human hopes that make the human heart forever young. A song of life which springs from death, a joyous human song, a forever Alleluia song.
And please stand and join us in singing hymn 61, Lo, the Earth Awakes Again. Please be seated. Well, I have a confession to make. The title of this sermon, the title of this service is Just Imagine. That was supposed to be the service title for my May sermon. So, but using our imagination today isn't a bad thing. And matter of fact, I imagine looking at the number of beautiful candles lit here, I imagine there's a lot of joy represented right there. Sadness, but joy as well. So I look forward to my Just Imagine sermon in May. I hope you will too. I've got some Easter memories that I'd like to share with you. From earliest childhood up until I was well into high school, my mother would get up at the crack of dawn and she would hide Easter eggs, hard-boiled eggs, and she would also fill baskets for my two brothers and me. And we loved that. And the only problem that ever occurred with that was one year when we missed one of the decorated eggs. We didn't find it till July. And it didn't smell very good by then, believe me. But that's become a favorite family story. And the other is, I believe I was in the 7th grade, and I needed new shoes. So for Easter, we went off to the shoe store, and my grandmother came with us. And she wasn't always a gentle or patient woman, but we loved her. But we got to the shoe store, and I found my Easter shoes, the ones I had dreamed of. They were white, patent leather, with a little heel on them. And my mother said, "You are too young to wear a shoe with a heel on it." And my grandmother looked at her and said, "No, she isn't." She said, "And I'll buy those shoes for her." She said, "And then we're going to have to figure out how to get her some nylons." My mother looked shocked. But it was a rite of passage for me. And Easter's memories are happy ones. You know, I was raised in a Christian church, and I am Christian. And but I like to say in this day and age, I'm way over on the left end of Christianity. So anyway, I hope you all are thinking about lovely memories too that you might have of this holiday and this. And if you don't celebrate Easter, celebrate spring. It's resurrection everywhere we look. I love it. A friend of mine describes it as looking into the woods and seeing just a hint of green as the leaves begin to emerge. And I have daffodils blooming in my yard today for the first time, and I'm delighted. So, I'm sharing some words today from the Reverend Frank Clarkson. He was with the UU Church of Haverhill, and I thank him for this inspiration, and I thank him for his words, some of which I want to share with you now. He says, "I have a confession to make. I'm not sure I'm quite ready for Easter. A part of me wants to say hurrah and jump for joy. But the larger part of me is hesitant, isn't sure. Feels like this shift toward joy and gladness may be moving a little too fast. And maybe I'm not alone." He says, imagine with me, if you will, that first Easter morning. These three women who were close to Jesus get up their nerve to go to the grave and anoint his body. Let's notice that the men who were Jesus' companions are nowhere to be found. They've scattered. They're probably hiding. Neither were they around on the day he was killed. But the text says the women were there too. These three women on the way to anoint Jesus' body wonder who will move the heavy stone covering the entrance to the tomb. But when they arrive, they discover that it's already been rolled away and the body of their friend and their leader is gone. He is risen, they are told. He is going before you to Galilee. And that's noted in the book of Mark in the New Testament. This first and oldest version of the story ends here with the women running away because the text says they were trembling and amazed and afraid. And who wouldn't be? I would. What's happened here? Can you imagine yourself at the grave of one you love and finding it empty? Would you be saying, "Alleluia, she is risen"? Would you be able to pivot that fast from grief and despair to joy and celebration? Wouldn't most of us be saying, "What the heck just happened? What do we do now?" And who among us hasn't felt that way now and again over the past years with so much disorientation and uncertainty? And there must be a part of each of us that's more ready to bust out of whatever has been holding us back. So if you're ready to rejoice with your whole heart, do it. We all need the joy in celebrating that we can get. But for me, I've got some work to do, and Gretchen Haley's call keeps ringing in my ears. Gretchen Haley is a favorite of mine. Roll away the stone of your hesitant heart. Let the light shine on all the sleeping shadows. Awaken to this day. Roll away the stone of your hesitant heart. I need this because my heart is hesitant at times. I've got used to lowering my expectations, and I don't like that. I'm wary of hoping and having those hopes disappointed. I'm weary of the daily changes and adaptations we've been through on this journey. I want to awaken to a new day and embrace a new season and even feel some unadulterated joy for a change. But it's kind of a lot to do, a lot to have all at once, isn't it? It may take us a little time. And be gentle. Give yourself a little time if you need it. Like those women on their way to the tomb, I'm asking these days, who will roll away the stone from this hesitant heart? How's that going to happen? And this is why we're here, my friends, to hear the old story, to picture ourselves in it, to seek what it has to say to us in these days, in this particular place of our lives, and through this, to open ourselves to a wider, more expansive, and more hopeful view. One of Reverend Tim's critiques of some strands of contemporary Christianity is how individual it can be and how dependent on right belief. When the early followers of Jesus were not like that at all. They were all about community, and they weren't of one mind. How could they be? They'd been through so much with him, and it ended so suddenly and so badly. How long does it take to mourn when you have loved and lost? How long does it take to make meaning from an event that has forever changed you? More than 2 or 3 days, I think. Something happened to these friends and followers after Jesus' tortures and death. They remembered what it had been like when he was in their midst, how they felt the Spirit more vividly when he was near. And in some moments, it was like he was there with them still, walking down a dusty road or fishing in the Sea of Galilee, saying, wow, could that have been him? We really don't know what happened. We don't know what happened, but something happened. And the stories of this teacher and healer whom death could not contain spread across the world. We have religion because of this human problem that we have, being alive and knowing that everyone we love is going to go at some point. Different religions have addressed this problem in different ways, but none of us know for sure on this side what awaits us after life. And this is Reverend Tim's line. He says, I don't believe in magic. I'm not sure I don't. I think I might believe in magic. But he says, I don't think there are forces that work outside the natural laws of the universe. But I do believe there's a spirit world, and I can't explain it. But I've caught glimpses of it from time to time, that we're a part of a great and abiding love, whose energy is so vast and so great and so subtle and so elusive. And in this energetic field of love, we're connected across time and space to those we love, those that we've loved and lost. I believe that Jesus was a person particularly full of this love and gifted at sharing it, which is why he's called the Christ, the Anointed One, which is why he lives on in these stories and the lives of those that follow him. The invitation that Easter throws at us every year is this: how are we going to live in the face of the empty tomb? In a world that knows so much sadness and despair, will we open ourselves to the possibility and the promise of resurrection, of new life in the midst of death? Here are these lines of testimony from the UU theologian, Reverend Dr. Rebecca Parker. She says, in the midst of a broken world, unspeakable beauty, grace, and mystery abide. There is an embrace of kindness that encompasses all life, even yours, even mine. And while there is injustice or evil, there moves a holy disturbance. I love that line, a holy disturbance, a benevolent rage, a revolutionary love, protesting, urging, insisting that that which is sacred will not be defiled. Easter asks us, are you going to resign yourself to decay and destruction, or are you going to choose life? Are you going to choose life? Are you going to choose to bless the world? And as our Buddhist friends remind us, suffering is a part of life. We are mortal, each of us, and those that we love. What matters today is how we live in these days, here and now. I'm as prone to fear and worry and hesitancy as anyone in this room, which is why I need Easter and its call to live a braver, more wholehearted, and more daring life. We know enough about traveling the way of pain and loss. Easter doesn't deny any of those things. It just says suffering and death are not the end of the story. The empty tomb is like a sentence without a period, a story that hasn't ended, that we're still enacting and adding to with the testimony of our lives, these hearts, these souls, these precious bodies. Today begins a season of imagining and embodying a life in which we have enough and are enough. It may take some time, but today is a good day to start. And I'm ready for that. How about you? Here again, David White's questions about living a more wholehearted and daring life. I want to know if you belong or feel abandoned, if you know despair or can see it in others. I want to know if you are prepared to live in the world with its harsh need to change you, if you can look back with firm eyes saying, no, this is where I stand. I want to know if you know how to melt into that fierce heat of living, falling forward, the center of your longing. I want to know if you're willing to live day by day with the consequences of love and the bitter, unwanted passion of your sure defeat at times. Well, this is Easter's invitation and call. In the light and in the shadows, to live as fully as we can these lives we have been given. To be wholehearted, to be daring, seeing your own life as a resurrection story, healing and blessing one another and our world, singing as we go. Made like him we rise, ours the cross, the grave, the skies. Alleluia and amen. And the people all said, Alleluia. Alleluia. Thank you. And I'd like to invite us now into a time of quiet, a little time of meditation. And I have an excerpt of some writing by a gentleman named Jack Kornfeld. I'll read those words, and then let's take just a few minutes of silence, and I'll ring our bell here at the end. So I invite you to take a couple of good, deep, and cleansing breaths and settle in as comfortably as you can with your feet on the floor if they reach. And just breathe gently. Breathe gently. Bring to mind someone you care about, someone for whom it is easy to rejoice. Picture them and feel the natural joy you have for their well-being. With each breath, offer them your grateful, heartfelt wishes. May you be joyful. May your happiness increase. May you not be separated from great happiness. And then gradually open your meditation to include neutral people, difficult people, and maybe even enemies, until you extend sympathetic joy to all beings everywhere, young and old, near and far. and finish with another couple of good deep breaths. And this is a time in our service when we offer our financial gifts to support the work, to support the mission, to support our larger community, and to support the wide world. As always, we'll donate half of our plate offering to a local nonprofit, and this month it's the Saco Food Pantry. Pat's very familiar with them. So please be generous as the ushers wait on you. Go sit. And please remain standing as we extinguish our chalice. Please join me in the words. Always. And now join us in our closing hymn, number 29, Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee. Seated. Nothing like ending the service with a little Beethoven. I love it. May your heart dance in wisdom and wonder. May golden light and a whispering breeze fill your movements with joy, the very spark of being. Live like a sage, play like a child, dance with the moments as they arrive.
Joy shall come in the morning. Joy shall come in the morning too. Joy shall come in the morning. Joy shall come to you. Out of darkness we have light. Comes the day from the night. Joy shall come in the morning. Joy shall come to you. Peace shall come in the morning. Peace shall come in the morning. Peace shall come in the morning. Peace shall come to you. Brothers all in charity, sisters all in unity. Peace shall come in the morning. Peace shall come to you. Love shall come in the morning. Love shall come in the morning too. Love shall come in the morning. Love shall come to you. Comfort us that we might live, knowing love that we might give. Love shall come in the morning. Love shall come to you. Hope shall come in the morning. Hope shall come in the morning too. Hope shall come in the morning. Hope shall come to you. Take this pain from the night. Open your heart with wings, take flight. Hope shall come in the morning. Hope shall come to you.
May the love we find in this place sustain us. Go in joy. Please remain seated for the postlude.
so glad that you came to join.
I do love being here, so when I'm not here, it's not because I don't want to be, it's just because I can't.
Oh, I'm going to read something. And I used to sell lunch. Mom's hat.